Hello learners, welcome to our YouTube channel Learn to Explore. I hope you are doing well. So I welcome you here. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and I hope you are liking our content. So today we are going to start new chapter of class 12 sociology book. Chapter 4. We have already covered 3 chapters of this book, Indian Sociology, and in case you haven't watched it yet, you can find the link of same playlist in the description given below. So before starting this chapter, I will really suggest you to go back and see the earlier videos first and then come to this chapter. So let's start with the chapter 4, the market as a social institution. As you all have heard, market is a place of interaction between the buyers and sellers, producers and consumers in respect to goods and services. तो मार्केट क्या है? मार्केट एक ऐसा प्लेस होता है जहाँ पर बायर्स और सेलर्स या प्रोड्यूसर्स और कंज्यूमर्स के बीच में इंटरेक्शन होता है with regard to goods and services. Okay. Now sociological perspectives on market and the economy. The discipline of economics is aimed at understanding and explaining how markets work in modern capitalist economies. For instance, how prices are determined, the probable impact of specific kinds of investment, or the factors that influence people to save or spend. So this is the objective of economic discipline. They define market on the basis of how prices are determined and how the probable impact of specific kind of investment made on one's life, or the factors that influence people to save or spend. This is how market is defined in economics. Adam Smith, in his book The Wealth of Nations, attempted to understand the market economy and argued that the market economy is made up of a series of individual exchanges or transactions, which automatically create a functioning and ordered system. Each person looks only to their own interest, but in pursuit of their self-interest, the interest of all or of society has also seemed to be looked after. तो वो क्या कहते हैं एडम स्मिथ अपनी बुक द वेल्थ ऑफ नेशंस में कि एवरी पर्सन वर्क फॉर देयर इंटरेस्ट, हर कोई अपने सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट के लिए मार्केट में काम करता है, बट इन परस्यूट ऑफ देयर सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट the interest of all or of society also looked after automatically. In this sense, there seems to be some sort of an unseen force at work can convert what is good for each individual into what is good for society. So what it means कि जो एक force होती है which works for what is good for each individual into what is good for society, which convert whatever is good for an individual converts in whatever is good for society. Smith used the idea of invisible hand. कोई अदृश्य शक्ति या अदृश्य हाथ है एडम स्मिथ के अनुसार that benefits when individuals pursue their self-interest in the market because it stimulates the economy and creates more wealth. For this reason, Smith promoted the idea of free market, that is, market free from all kinds of regulation, whether by state or otherwise. This economic philosophy was also given the name laissez-faire, a French phrase that means leave alone or let it be. Means Adam Smith says there is some invisible hand in the market when individual work or do some action for their self-interest, it converts into a good for all. It converts as beneficial for society as a whole. All that because of some invisible force, invisible hand. In contrast to this approach, sociologists have attempted to develop an alternative way of studying economic institutions and processes within the larger social framework. Sociologists view markets as social institutions that are constructed in culturally specific ways. Sociologists मार्केट को कैसे देखते हैं? एक ऐसा सामाजिक इंस्टीट्यूशन, एक ऐसा सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशन जो कि कल्चरल स्पेसिफिक वे में बना हुआ है. For example, markets are often controlled or organized by particular social groups or classes and have specific connections to other institutions, social processes and structures. They see market as a linkage between other institutions, social processes and structures. Sociologists often express this idea by saying that economies are socially embedded. This is illustrated by two examples, one of a weekly tribal hut and other of a tribal business community, and it is trading network in colonial India. So these two examples are also given in your NCERT book. As I have already told you that I made all these notes from your original NCERTs, and whatever is important, I have put it here. So you can completely rely on these notes, and to download these notes PDF, you can join our Telegram channel. Link is given in the description below. Kindly check and you will get all these notes PDF up to date ready for you to revise to keep with you for longer time. So let's look at first example. A weekly tribal market in Dhorai village, Bastar, Chhattisgarh. In most agrarian or peasant societies around the world, periodic markets are a central feature of social and economic organization. Weekly markets bring together people from surrounding villages who come to sell their agricultural or other produce and to buy manufactured goods. In rural India, there are also specialized markets that take place at less frequent intervals, for instance, cattle markets. These periodic markets link different regional and local economies together and link them to the wider national economy and to towns and metropolitan centers. जैसे कि हम शहर में रहने वालों को भी इस बात का अंदाजा है how the weekly markets are pursued in our regions. Basically, if you are from Delhi, as I belong to Delhi, so I can convey like there are markets like Friday market, Tuesday market, Monday market. So they are take place each every week in a day on a particular day at a particular place. So people can go and buy the useful commodities from there. Likewise, in rural India, there are specialized markets. For example, cattle markets. The weekly hart is also a common sight in rural and even urban India. Local people come to the market to sell their agricultural or forest produce to traders who carry it to towns for resale and there buy essentials such as salt and agricultural implements and consumption items such as bangles and jewelry. तो जो local markets होते हैं rural areas में because the production is done basically in the rural India. So what they do, agriculture come to sell their produce in the bulk, and there the traders go and carry it from them to resell in towns or to use for their personal consumption purposes. But for many visitors, the primary reason to come to these markets is social, to meet kins, to arrange marriages, exchange gossip and so on. काफी लोगों के लिए जो मार्केट में आने का उद्देश्य सिर्फ सामान खरीदना या बेचना नहीं, बल्कि कुछ लोगों से मिलना, अरेंज मैरिज के इश्यूज, गॉसिप और ये सब होते हैं. A market for tribal labor developed during the colonial period. Due to all these changes, local tribal economies became linked into wider markets, usually with very negative consequences for local people. For example, the entry of traders and moneylenders from outside the local area led to the impoverishment of Adivasis, many of whom lost their land to outsiders. कुछ ट्राइबल एरियाज में ऐसी मार्केट का लॉस भी हुआ है. ट्रेडर्स की एंट्री की वजह से मनी लैंडर्स जो बाहर के एरिया के वहाँ आ गए, तो जो आदिवासी या ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज थी वहाँ की ओरिजिनेटेड कम्युनिटीज, they are being exploited by them, they are being looted by them, and even they have lost their land to them. The weekly market as a social institution links between local tribal economy and outside, and the exploitative economic relationship between Adivasis and others are illustrated by a study of weekly market in Bastar district of Chhattisgarh. This district is populated mainly by Gond tribes. It is an Adivasi group or tribal group. Forest officials came to market to conduct business with Adivasis who work for the forest department, and market attracts a variety of specialists selling their goods and services. तो ये जो गोंड ट्राइब्स हैं, इनकी एक मार्केट लगती है बस्तर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, जहाँ पर फॉरेस्ट ऑफिशियल्स ऑफन कम टू कंडक्ट देयर बिजनेस, एंड with whom do their business? With these Adivasis, with the Gond tribes. The major goods that are exchanged in market are manufactured goods, non-local foods, local foods and agricultural produce, and manufactured items and forest produce, etc. In the market, the buyers are mostly Adivasis, while the sellers are mainly caste Hindus. Adivasis earned cash from the sale of forest and agricultural produce from wage laborer. तो आदिवासी यहाँ पर अपना सामान बेच के मेनली डोमिनेंट कास्ट हिंदूज को जो है आदिवासीज आर द सेलर्स. So they sold their products, agricultural produces to dominant caste Hindus basically, who came there, who go there to purchase their goods, and Adivasis in this form earned cash by sale of their forest produce and in also from wage labor as a wage for providing their labor services. According to Alfred Gill, the anthropologist who studied Thorai, the market has significance much beyond its economic function. For example, the layout of market symbolizes the hierarchical intergroup social relations in this region. Different social groups are located according to their position in the caste and social hierarchy as well as in the market system. The wealthy and high-ranking Rajput dweller and the middle-ranking local Hindu traders sit in the central zones, and the tribal sellers of vegetables and local wares in the outer circles. Also, the interactions between tribal and non-tribal traders are very different than those of between Hindu and their same community. They express hierarchy and social distance rather than social equality. तो यहाँ पर एंथ्रोपोलॉजिस्ट एल्फ्रेड गेल का क्या कहना है कि धुलाई की मार्केट को स्टडी करने के बाद वो कहते हैं कि इट इज बियॉन्ड इकोनॉमिक फंक्शंस, क्योंकि यहाँ का जो लेआउट है इट शोज द हायरार्की, बिकॉज द वेल्थी और हाई रैंकिंग राजपूत और ज्वेलर और मिडिल रैंकिंग लोकल हिंदू कहाँ बैठे हैं, सेंट्रल जोन में, while tribal sellers of vegetables and local are kept in outer circles. So this is how it shows कि there is a difference between even in the like places of sitting. Also there is a difference between how they interact with each other, how they communicate with the people of their same community, and how they treat this tribal group. So next example, caste-based markets and trading networks in pre-colonial and colonial India. So we have seen the examples here. Now coming forward, I hope you are able to understand what I am trying to convey. In case you have any doubt, anything to ask or any suggestion even if, then you can let me know in the comment section. I would love to answer. I would love to know how you feel about the class, how do you see it? Is it beneficial for you or not? Please do let me know. In some traditional accounts of Indian economic history, India's economy and society are seen as unchanging. They are seen as unchanging, which cannot be changed. Economic transformation was brought to have begun only with the advent of colonialism. Economic transformation कब आया इंडिया में? With the advent of colonialism, with the coming of British people. While colonialism certainly brought about major economic transformations, for example, due to the demand that land revenue be paid in cash, recent historical research has shown that much of India's economy was already extensively monetized. Trade was carried out without using money in the late pre-colonial period, and while various kinds of non-market exchange systems, such as Jajmani system, did exist in many villages and regions even during the pre-colonial period, villages were incorporated into wider networks of exchange through which agricultural produce and other goods circulated. तो क्या था, ब्रिटिश के आने से पहले there was a system of goods exchange, commodity exchange. There was a system of jajmani, and there was no money used in trade. The people used to exchange the goods of their needs. The traditional trading communities or castes had their own systems of banking and credit. जो traditionally trading communities थी, उनका अपना ही banking और credit का system था, उधार लेने का और बैंक का, इस सब का. For instance, an important instrument of exchange and credit was the hundi or bill of exchange, like a credit note. एक system क्या था? Hundi एक system था which allowed merchants to engage in long distance trade because trade took place primarily within the caste and kinship network of these communities. A merchant in one part of the country could issue a hundi that would be honored by a merchant in another place. यहाँ पर लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस ट्रेड तो होते थे, लेकिन जो ट्रेड था बेसिकली बिटवीन कास्ट और किनशिप के नेटवर्क में ही होता था। तो एनी मर्चेंट, कोई भी व्यापारी यहाँ देश के किसी भी एक हिस्से में बैठकर दूसरे हिस्से के लिए, काफी दूर के लिए भी एक हुंडी इशू कर देते थे, जो कि इस बात का प्रूफ थी कि पेमेंट उन्हें उनसे लेनी है या उनको पेमेंट मिल चुकी है। द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ कास्ट, kinship, and family were oriented towards commercial activity, and business activity was carried out within these social structures. As in most traditional merchant communities, Nakaratar banks were basically joint family firms, so that structure of the business firm was the same as that of the family. ज़्यादातर क्या होता था, जो ये बिजनेस होता था या ट्रेडिंग होती थी, बिजनेस विद इन फैमिली और किनशिप होती थी। तो एक एग्जाम्पल दिया है, साउथ इंडिया में एक कम्युनिटी है जैसे कि नकरत्तर बैंक, तो ये एक जॉइंट फैमिली पूरी तरह से हैंडल करती थी। सिमिलरली ट्रेडिंग एंड बैंकिंग एक्टिविटीज वर ऑर्गेनाइज्ड थ्रू कास्ट एंड किनशिप रिलेशंस. The extensive caste-based social networks allowed Chettiar merchants to expand their activities into Southeast Asia and Ceylon. In one view, the economic activities of Nakarattars represented a kind of indigenous capitalism. So, each economic activities थी through just one family, it represented a kind of indigenous capitalism. A capitalism within India by the Indians. This is how it shows the capitalism. It was not the British capitalism, but the indigenous capitalism. So we have studied till here how the business and trade used to happen in India in during pre-colonial period and during colonial period. From here we will continue in the next class. So till then keep revising, stay tuned, stay safe, and in case you have any doubt, please feel free to ask. And also don't forget to like, share, and comment on the video, and do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. So guys, we'll continue the next class. Okay, stay tuned. Thank you.